back to our channel. Ruth here, and in today's video I'd like to share with you successful people's top 5 routine. So let's get started. Routine number 1. Successful people, they look after themselves. What do I mean by that? They invest in themselves first because they know that if this body works well and their mind works well, everything else falls into place. You know, I believe that there's a direct relation between your health and also your mind and the ability to think sharp, to think outside the box, etc. So in terms of eating well, sleeping well, exercising, it actually sounds really simple, right? But the thing is, it is actually not easy to incorporate these habits if you haven't actually already done so. Now, if you haven't already done so, then it's time to really think about what changes you can make right now so that in the future you can be the person you want to be in terms of your sleeping routine, your eating routine, and your exercise routine. Now, I understand that you might not be able to change everything at once because perhaps you're working a full-time job, trying to start a business. You've got like 3 kids, you know, you've got a spouse to look after as well and a house to clean. So you might not be able to drop everything and incorporate that perfect routine, but I would say pick one thing, start somewhere. So it could be exercise, or it could be eating better. So let's say if your pick is you want to eat a little bit better, then perhaps it's time for you to actually research and think about ways where you can have more healthy food in the house. Perhaps you want to do, you know, a bigger load of shopping and make sure you have your list. You know, you're not just buying milk and bread and frozen pizzas, but you're actually buying at least frozen vegetables or salads, you know, and you take them with you to lunch at work, whatever it might be. Or let's say if you want to start to incorporate exercise into your routine, but you just can't get up in the morning, or you have to get the kids ready for school in the morning, you just don't have time for yourself. So what you can do is, if you're a worker, during lunchtime, instead of sitting in a lunchroom for half an hour or an hour with a colleague eating, you might want to just say, you know what, I'm just actually going to eat at my desk. I'm going to eat 10 minutes, you know, eat quickly. And then you will spend the rest of the time, the next 30 minutes or 20 minutes, however long you have, you would go out and you bring a pair of shoes, like Skechers or something with you, and you pop some, you know, nice music, or even I actually prefer motivational messages, or messages that will help you grow in the area that you want to be the best in. And you start walking 20 minutes every day, or it could be maybe twice a week. And that is a good start. So start somewhere. Don't try and do everything at the same time. But when you begin to incorporate these tiny routines and you're consistent, guess what? You will see your life change. And that's what successful people do. That's routine number 1. They look after themselves. Number 2, successful people learn every single day to be better in their industry. So a lot of people actually, successful people, even success speakers especially, they read a lot, okay? Now, personally, I don't read a lot because, in fact, the funny thing is when I graduated from secondary school, I thought to myself, you know what, I don't have to read books again. But then I decided to go to law school, and I actually read, because then I actually did UK law and Australian law. So in the UK, they say you don't study law, you actually read law, and that's very true. All we did was reading and reading and reading, right? So now that I'm a lawyer, my job requires me to read. So when I'm trying to build myself up, you know, I don't want to read anymore. But what I do is I actually try my best to listen to audiobooks. I do read occasionally if I find something really helpful, but I listen to contents, you know, whether it's podcasts, audiobooks, it could be a YouTube motivational message. So I would really encourage that you would begin to learn so that you can be the best in your industry as well. Begin to learn, begin to listen, and never stop learning. Number 3, successful people surround themselves with winners. That's important, isn't it? Now, as a matter of fact, I understand that not everybody has got the luxury of, you know, having a mentor. You know, some of you might have mentor and you're very blessed because someone is there to mentor you, whether it's in your journey to success or in your in the things that you want to accomplish. So you might have a mentor and you don't have to pay for it, but some of you might have to pay someone to actually get that mentorship going. But not all of us have got that mentor, and that's okay. You will be able to actually find, I would say, electronic mentors, because nowadays, if you look at the internet, there's all these resources that you can actually get, right? So personally, when I first started in my success journey, when I first became a success speaker a couple of years ago, I actually would incorporate, so let's say if I work at the law firm for particular hours, I would set time where I would actually listen or watch something educational about business, because that's the area that I got into. I wanted to be able to grow my business, market the business, and also help others with businesses, whether it's starting from home or having a shop somewhere. So what I'll do is I will actually go and find all the different materials available online, and lots of these are actually available for free. I love watching Shark Tank, Undercover Boss, The Profit. If you don't know any of these shows, and also CNBC actually has a lot of shows on Make It, like how millennials actually made it. They actually pursue success. So The Profit is actually a show that's run in collaboration between Marcus Lemonis, who is a businessman, and also CNBC, which is a TV channel. So what they do is they actually post these videos on YouTube, right, which is available for free. And Marcus actually gets people writing to him about their business, how they're struggling, how they're going down, how they're getting themselves into debt. And then Marcus will then go to these small businesses, look at what the problem is. He'll dissect the problem and he'll say, okay, this is your problem. You need to make this change. And you begin to see how these businesses are being transformed. But at the same time, as I'm watching these, right, I can actually see, what mistakes to avoid, what are the things I can learn from. So you don't have to actually go through the same mistakes to learn from the mistakes. You can actually learn from somebody else's mistakes so you can actually avoid it, instead of going through that painful mistake experience. So apart from Marcus Lemonis, I love Undercover Boss, because again, that's how the employers actually, the business owners actually go undercover, and they would actually go to the business and pretend they're an employee so that they can actually see exactly what is wrong with the business and what's going right, so that they can improve the businesses. The other TV shows I watch are such as Shark Tank, where people come and pitch their ideas, and then the sharks or the investors will ask them, do you know your figures? Do you know this? So it helps me to begin to learn and say, what, although I am a partner in a law firm, and I'm well versed in the law, or at least some areas of the law, still learning the rest. It's important, that to run a business, I need to know my figures. So I have to learn about taxes. I need to learn about, what's the GST, what's the CGT, what's, how much money should I allocate for tax? How do I save money, etc. So it's important that we never stop learning. And so that is what successful people do. They surround themselves with winner. So it could be your friends, your circle, but not everyone has that luxury. So if you don't have that, perhaps you can do what I do by gleaning from successful people online, and also connecting with them. Number 4, successful people, they work hard and they play hard and they also rest. So they know that there's always a time to actually work really hard, but they also dedicate time to rest. At the end of the day, this body can only take so much, right? So you need to be able to go, well, I'm really gonna work hard on this day, but you might have 2 hours a week where you just spend time with your family and you don't answer phone calls. When I first started in business, I actually run a couple of businesses on top of being dealing with the cases in the law firm. I would go to sleep at about 4 a.m. and I'm still there checking emails. So I didn't have that boundary, that work-life balance. And my husband was like, darling, you're getting sick, you should really look after yourself. So after some time, I began to learn and say, what, if I want to be effective in what I do, I need to look after this body first. So I work hard, but also play and I rest. Finally, number 5, successful people. One of their routines is they are organized and they always have a clean space to work around. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be a minimalist. You know, I've got friends who are minimalists and they've got 5 black coats and 5 white t-shirts and that's all they wear. But as for me, I love my clothes. Even if they don't fit, I still keep it just in case one day, you know. But as much as possible, a tidy environment can actually affect your productivity. Because when your surrounding is cluttered, believe it or not, your mind somehow, you know, it's not free to think about many things. And I know I'm preaching to myself here because sometimes I do get cluttered here and there, but as much as possible, try and keep a nice, clean environment. Organize your emails, organize your diary, organize your hard drives, whatever it might be. But try your best to actually get organized. There's a lot of resources out there today that can help you get organized. You know, there's all these apps and planners, etc., that you can use. So start looking into that. You might not be able to organize every part of your life, but start with one thing. Perhaps it's the closet. You know, start organizing that. And then maybe the next month you think, you know what, I'm going to organize my hard drive. And then maybe the following month you go, you know what, I'm going to dedicate that Saturday morning to organize the pantry and the fridge, throwing out, you know, yucky foods from the fridge, whatever it might be. So get organized. So those are the 5 the top 5 routine for successful people. I hope you enjoyed the video today. And last but not least, would you be so kind to hit the like and subscribe button so we can keep you motivated? And that's going to mean the world to me. I'll see you next time. Bye.